Joshua Mgeni. I'm the administrator, Eagle Health and Clinic Services, running the entire institution for all the 3 branches here at Kangemi. I have a branch at Kawangware and another branch in Kibera. Very soon, we're also opening another one at Kikuyu. As an institution, currently we are being also part of the emergency response team of being an hospital. The issue of COVID-19 has really affected our supplies of equipments. We heavily relied on some things like as simple as gloves, masks. These are things that we use on a day-to-day basis as an institution. So when COVID came in and then they became mandatory all of a sudden, the prices hike. Something like essential things like gloves that could be found at a cost of 350, that's a pack of 50, shooting to up to 1,500. Some also, because of COVID, they had to shut their own operations. So it became hectic for us, but we had to survive with the minimal resources that we have. When COVID started in the country, all of a sudden the president announced lockdown of the major operations outside the country. As an institution, we have relied from products from India, some of the products. Some of the products are actually donations that comes from outside the country. So it also raised challenge to some of our clients. Being an institution at a level 4 in this particular area, we have a lot of clinics. One of them being the CCC, which deals specifically with the ARVs. You have clients, and we have seen a growth rate in that particular department. So somehow we were affected. Some of the clients went missing those drugs, of which it was not very comfortable, but now we reached a situation whereby we lacked options. But we thank God they are safe. All of a sudden, there's somewhere we had to look for an alternative route to get some of them, of which I think made our clients comfortable as at now. We have a lot of SOPs, standard operating procedures, that govern the movement of drugs, and drugs are categorized into different categories. We have the dangerous drugs called the DDS. We have the drugs that are commonly used, first-use drugs. We have the antibiotics. So different drugs are stored differently. So as an institution, one of the rules that we use as an institution is we use FIFO to ensure that effectively and efficiently these drugs, once they came in, first in, first out. The first drug that comes in is the first drug to be dispensed out. The last one to come in will be the last one to be dispensed out. And this has helped us as an institution to ensure that at the end of the day, we minimize loss of having drugs that have expired in the institution. And also these are safety to our clients to ensure that by the end of the day, they get the best service from us. We have the optimum level, we have the restocking level, we have the reorder level. For example, a drug like paracetamol, these are antibiotics. And at the end of the day, we are such a big institution. We serve more than 300 clients in our institution per day. And 90% of these clients may be prescribed antibiotics at any point given in time. So as antibiotics, you have the reorder level. We have set different drugs have been set different reorder levels to ensure that by the end of the day, once a drug hits its reorder level, it's being replenished effectively. Almost 90% of our clients are NHIF. And being under NHIF, one of the key challenges that faces the institution, majorly in 2020, NHIF came up with a rule whereby all people had to choose their facility afresh. They cleaned their database, and then we had to start from scratches. This was a challenge to our institution and also being a challenge to our clients. We had to go around to ensure that, first of all, the first step is to ensure that this particular person has chosen Ego as his primary facility. Had to send out, first of all, messages to these people so that by the time they come in the facility, you don't come in, then you are told, you know what, yes, you have been a client here, but now you have not chosen us, so you can't be treated. It also posed as a challenge. The second challenge that we faced from NHIF was that once this patient came in, currently you have issues to deal with the biometric, whereby you have to do what? To put your finger and the fingerprints. That has also posed somehow a challenge, because majority of these particular people, there are people who maybe at some point in time they're unskilled. There are people who maybe at some point in time they find it very difficult for him to tell him to put his or her own finger. So it's also posed as a challenge to our institution. Then last but not least, about the challenges faced from institution pertaining NHIF is we have delay of payment from NHIF. NHIF is an insurance. You can claim this particular payment today, but it won't. You can launch a claim today, but it won't be paid today. it will be paid maybe 3 months, or sometime it can take sometime like 4 or 5 months for it to be paid. And we need to ensure that we are a business. We need to ensure that these drugs are there. We need to ensure once this person comes to the facility does not lack anything, any basic requirement, that also we need to ensure that we give them the best service and the best quality. We don't compromise on quality. Currently under NHIF, we are under contract B. In contract B, as an institution, we are not allowed to co-charge the clients. Once a clients come in, for example, we have been admitted in our hospital, we claim a rebate of 1,800 per day. So this particular patient can be here and we are given a maximum of 5 days. So the maximum you can claim from NHIF when this patient is admitted is 9,000. If this patient maybe is a cash payer, has come into the institution, you can find that a cash payer may pay at least a minimum of 20,000 if it stays for those number of days. And all these two people have found the same services. They have found the same particular drugs, the same particular medication. Maybe they are under the same diagnosis. So with this, it somehow as an institution we feel there's a feeling that no, this is too little, because 1,800. This person has been given medication, number one. This person will be on that bed, will sleep overnight. This person needs to be given blankets and all those particular things, meals that comes with it. This person maybe you have to do lab tests that may be required and necessary, and all the tests that are required. Then finally have to be given the medicines and the medication. All these ranges have to be done during the day, and that day only for a single day are being paid 1,800. So that one we have really appealed to NHIF, written many letters, hoping that very soon they will honor one of them so that they can increase this amount from 1,800 maybe to 2,400, which is the next level. So as an institution, we feel that maybe also being under contract B, the major reason we survive as an institution is to serve the underserved. These people, they are not in a position to pay. One of the things we have come into the institution, one of the things we have appealed to our members is to ensure that maybe they have private insurances. Maybe to work with the firms that they work with. Some of the firms offer to pay other bills for them. Some of the firms have gone step ahead and ensure that they insure their own clients. Or maybe these particular people had some injuries while at work, then they are being safe under WIBA. For example, the year 2020 was a very tough year for all of us, both institutions, families, back at home, and all other people. We had cases whereby people could come, have gotten an accident accidentally, have been brought to the hospital by an ambulance. We have to rush you to theater to do a surgery. Once a surgery is done and this person is well, and then ask this person, you know what, you have to pay 120,000. And at that particular point in time, this was just a young man, don't have job, don't have anything. We try to analyze, and we ask the person, how much can you raise? And then we decide to waiver all the remaining amount of money. Like for example, if I ran through the last year, I've waived almost 3 million. This amount of money that we just tried to say, no, let's just leave it to go. Because at the end of the day, we can't really have it back. Recently, we have opened a branch in Kibera, and you can attest with me that in that particular place, most of these people don't have even money to pay for these bills. So if you can find donors who are in a position to come and then help the society, help to ensure that these people at the end of the day they get best services, best healthcare, we will really appreciate. Refuge Point is an NGO located here in Westlands. We had a meeting with them, and they have decided that for them they will be paying the bills for in case of any refugee who is in a position not to pay for those bills. They can't communicate well, they can't be in a position, but now they need some medical attention. They will be honoring and paying the bill. Other thing that I think we can do also, we have routed some of the proposals to some of the NGOs are waiting for their response. So it's one of the things that we are really heavily looking into. So one of the things that we have decided to do as an institution to also help our clients, we went a step ahead and said, if you have ever been treated in Ego, and then you come in, and these changes that have been happening in HIF, your data or everything was erased, you are being treated. Just choose the institution. Yes, your capitation will come the next quarter, but provided you have chosen the institution, you will get the services. That's one thing that you have done. The second thing that you have done as an institution, word of mouth marketing, is to ensure that the biometric issue has been a challenge. Serving almost 300 people in a day, and this system goes on only rotating. It can take almost 30 minutes to serve only one patient. So what we have done, because at the end of the day it could affect our reputation as an organization, what we have done, provided this person has chosen us as their primary facility, we have allowed them to get the services. As we work behind the scene to see how is it that this particular system can be faster. So this one also to enable and to ensure that this particular patient, once they walk in, they go out very happily. Then another thing that also have done to boost the word of mouth marketing is to ensure that we have some free consultations. Like for example, if you're in Kibra, we offered a whole month of July. We did free consultation, and one of the things that also we are thinking to extend in the month of August, offering free consultation. And to all our branches everywhere, we offer free consultations for all people under below 8 years. So once they walk into an institution, you are below 8 years, you have a kid, you will see the doctor for free. As an institution also, now when it comes to staffing issue, the criteria that we use, first of all, the heads of the department, they have to assess and see the need. If they see that there's a gap, they're overloaded, and there's a gap that's identified, the head of the department will have to do a report. Then he'll have we have to present the report to either me, myself, or first of all, if I have to present it to the HR. Then the management will team assess that particular gap. Also look at the effect of the cost. During this particular time of COVID, we are all aware that many institutions, many organizations have laid off their staffs. So we have first of all to assess what is the cost. We have the cost benefit analysis. Then after we have done the cost benefit analysis and identify now this is a gap that we need to solve. For example, they just opened a new branch the other day, so you have to head to employee either way. You have to ensure that there are people there. Once the clients come in, they found people who are well able, well skilled, to ensure they serve them. So after that particular process is done, we'll have to do an advertisement. Some of the IT department will run it through our website or through our Facebook or our social media pages. People have to apply. They will be called for the interview. Once the interview is done, before the interview is shortlisting, then the interview. Once the interview is done, they will assess again based on the panel that will have interviewed these particular people, and then they'll give us the best. And then after they've given them the best, we'll offer the appointment letter, and I will be welcomed on board to join us as our staff. But we highly recommend and we highly rely on best skills. We highly recommend and highly rely also on ensure that these people that we give, who we are trusting our clients with, they'll give them the best quality, the best service ever. But at the end of the day, this client will benefit. One of the things that we have come to discover of late is employ the young people. These particular young people, they are very energetic. They'll give you the best quality. They'll give you the best of their energy. They'll ensure that they'll be there. They'll not have a lot of responsibilities like when compared to the old people. But also, they come with their own challenges. One of the things that we have set up a department under HR's office that's able to dealing. One of the things, first of all, I have to advise to bring these particular two people. Try to talk to them. Try to ensure that these people that understand we are an institution, we are working. If it's inside the organization, it's strictly prohibited. But now, if outside the organization, they can continue doing whatever they can do. But now, once instead of the organization, but once it comes to our attention that, you know what, there's something that is going on between two staffs, one thing that we usually do is highly recommend you have to send one to a different branch and have one in this particular branch, so that by the end of the day, we try to ensure we get the best out of all of them. But one thing that I can assure is that the best team and the best people to work with are young people. They will give you the best during this particular field. When it comes to issue dealing with salary delay, we are trying to encourage our staffs. We approach some of the circles, for example, KBC to circle, to ensure that once these people, they can just go there and then they can get money. And then once they are good, they can come back and then they settle their budget. Another thing that we have done to ensure that to reduce the issue of demotivation is that we assess that particular need. What is this person going through? Some of them may be going through, for example, when it comes to emergency cases, we work with people. One of the things that it's very, 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 very drastic to ensure that people deal with the ambulance. Have gone to a scene, found someone, his head, it's an accident scenario. His hand is cut, it's bleeding all over. And you have to collect this particular person. At the end of the day, also need to sleep. And maybe the man of event, this person loses his life. You're a human being. Some of the things we go through that are very traumatizing. So what we usually do is frequently, as management, we organize various sessions that these people can be going through. If we identify one of the staff has that specific need, this particular thing that is suffering from, we have to ensure that we sort it as soon as possible to ensure that at the end of the day, this person still remains very productive. We are not a profit-making institution. Let me make it very clear. But now we are also in a business. We need to pay staffs. We don't have anywhere that we can have some funds. So, for example, Eagle Health and Clinic Services heavily relies on what we get from these people. So, being a business and having the first of the challenges that we have faced has been the issue of COVID. Two, the second challenge we have faced as an institution is the hiking of prices. Every day, the interest rates. Every day, the market rates. Every day, things are changing. What you use today, you cannot wake up. You can wake up tomorrow, then all of a sudden, because of a certain announcement, maybe made by the Cabinet Secretary of Health, affects the entire operations of the institution. It affects everything, and at the end of the day, emergency services, we have to continue in operation. So if a certain announcement has affected it severely, that particular department, for example, production of some things or PPEs have been held somewhere, or certain things have been held somewhere, at the end of the day, it will affect our operation and it will come back to square zero. I will have to look, we have to come in and then chip in the best way to ensure that we can get available resources, and we can get available requirements, can get the PPEs that are required, to ensure that at the end of the day, we meet the needs of our staff, to meet the needs of our clients, and they go home satisfied. It was a challenge that we faced as an institution. The second challenge that we faced, that has been very big also, I've just talked about the staff delay salary payment. It has really affected us as an institution, and we are really thinking and looking for ways that as an institution you can mitigate, as management you can mitigate this risk, because at the end of the day we need these people to work for us. We need these people to ensure they give our clients the best service. And if this particular person comes on duty, then or leaves the duty, then goes back home, he doesn't have fare, doesn't have bus fare, or he can't attend to his own basic needs, it was quite a challenge posing to us. So some of the things that we're really looking to mitigating. And I can also appreciate the coming in of other insurances. Just today I've signed in the contract with CAC Insurance. I've been called also by Resolution and ICI Insurance, and they are really wanting us. They really want to see what is it that we are doing. And to me, it's an impressive picture. At the end of the tunnel, though it's dark, but at the end of the tunnel, you can see some light. I love to appreciate the community we serve, the people we serve in these slum areas. We came up with an offer during the start of this year, whereby you had to go down to the security firms. Sorry to say, but majority of them are security men who can be found in these particular areas. So we had to look on a way that what is it that we can do to help these particular people. We approached BM Security, to be specific. BM Security, whereby almost 90% of their staffs have enrolled with us. And once they come for getting the services, it goes very faster. They don't have to queue, they don't have to go under the long line, because now these are our best clients. We approached Securex. Securex also gave us the business. Currently, once a Securex client come in, maybe a dog bite or in case of anything, will be attended to as fast as possible. And we also, again, we extend this particular offer to all the firms. We have almost 20 security firms. We did an offer to KK. Hope they will respond to it also very soon. We did an offer to Livingston Security. Hope they will respond very soon, and other security firms. Also, again, without forgetting private insurances. They have loved our services. They came in, they assess us as institutions, and all our 3 branches, and have decided to give us contract to be serving their clients, who to us also will be our clients. So it's a very great milestone to us, and we want to talk to all the people who are around these particular places. If you have insurances, you can still approach us. Now we are accredited by insurances. You have CIC in place, you have Resolution in place, you have Basis in place, you have Afiapoa in place. So if you have these insurances, you can walk into any of our branches and you'll get the best service ever. If you have an NHIF also, you are not left behind. You can choose us as your primary facility. We'll give you the best services that we can do. If you don't have any of them, we are very much affordable. We welcome everyone to this particular to our service. We welcome everyone to our branches wherever you are. Feel free to come in. Feel free to walk in. You will not be discriminated based on anything, but we treat everyone equally. So once you come into our facilities, once you come to an institution, you'll get the best services ever. One of the things that we need to promise our clients is your health, your good health is our solution. We are really grateful, and we'll be really at our comfort when we ensure that the clients we serve, the people we serve, the people we watch over, they're in good health, they're in a good condition, they're keeping on well, and they're faring on well. That one will be the pleasure and the best thing that we can ever do.